group of young people aged between 12 and 20 who meet at Ancient House Museum on a Friday to do projects based on local history and heritage. We have been researching the lives of some of the 46 servicemen who are remembered here at Thetford Cemetery with Commonwealth war graves.
Sometimes when we see pictures of the neat rows of white war graves, we might forget that the stones are a memorial to someone who had arguments with their siblings, laughed, had hobbies, and was a real person. In this tour, we've used archival records, newspaper reports, postcards, and more to give us a small glimpse of the real person behind the grave. As this is a cemetery, the tour will contain mentions of death and injuries. If you feel uncomfortable and wish to walk away from those, that's perfectly fine. We are grateful to Thetford Town Council for granting permission for this tour. We'd also like to thank the many researchers before us and who told us we stand, including Geoffrey Bloomfield and Martin Edwards, the Brecon Society, and the much missed David Osborne. During the tour, we ask that you respect that this is a peaceful and tranquil place for final resting and are mindful of other rules in the space. Thank you.
At 11 p.m. on the night of 3rd September 1917, two bombs fell directly onto the so-called HMS Pembroke, a drill ball in Chatham, Kent, which was being used as a temporary accommodation. 135 men passed away as a result of the raid. One of them was Stoker First Class Frederick Diver. Frederick Diver was born on the 4th of July 1888. We know from the census that when he was 2, his parents were living in Old Market Street, Thetford.
Was his involvement with a friend of his called Robert Hayward. Robert asked Walter to drive a van for him to collect some oats from a local farm. Robert told Walter that the farmer had said it was okay to have the oats for free, but this was not true. So Walter was arrested for theft. In the end, Robert was only on trial and Walter was acquitted.
George Shuttleworth. He was born in 1892 in Bournemouth, Essex. He has 4 sisters and 3 brothers. One of them, Ernest, also enlisted. George enlisted at Paddington in Middlesex. He joined 2nd and 7th Battalion of the Essex Regiment. George never made it to the front. His death certificate shows he died of cerebral spinal meningitis. The 1911 census tells us George was working as a labourer with a threshing machine, but his death certificate shows he was a steam wagon driver. The Essex Regiment did not have steam wagons, so this must have been his civilian occupation.
Joe was born in 1899 in Thetford. He died on the 4th of March 1991. Before the war, Joe lived with his widowed mother at 17 Nicholas Street. Joe's job was a farmer labourer. His hobby was playing in the Salvation Army band. He was also arranged musical events at the Salvation Army Citadel. Joe was wounded 2 times before dying of his wounds in 1919. He was one of 3 brothers to die in the war.